Right. We've seen nothing from Joe about it.
Right.
So my question is, what do the listeners think about that? Do you think Joe Gorga should go meet with his sister? Because I have mixed feelings about it. And I'm rewatching Jersey and I am on season 7 and Joe Giudice just left to go away.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hey, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode number 2. This is the first episode after the big bombshell of Wendy Osefo and her husband being arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious to see how they were going to edit it, if they were, because that was the rumor out there, but there was nothing different. They didn't take out her confessional. She still had confessionals.
So
She
I was
still
just
in
listening
scenes.
to husbands watching Housewives, and they were talking about it, and they were saying that maybe as the season goes on, they'll eliminate some scenes. I do still think it's going to be difficult to do that, though. I really do, because she's a main player. Like she's not even just a friend of. I mean, when they took Kenya off, Kenya just stopped filming. It's
Right.
not like they took anything out prior to what happened. To be honest with you, though, and we talked about this, I just find it a little upsetting that they pulled the wife swap. They're talking about, taking her out of scenes. Like, this is still a pending investigation. They literally stopped filming while Teresa was in jail and picked cameras back up as soon as she got out. I mean, they did that Teresa checks in thing. I never watched that. What a difference in treatment, right? And very similar charges. Fraud.
Fraud. Yeah, fraud is similar in that. Yes, absolutely.
The treatment's
Absolutely.
very different. The treatment's very different. And I know that was a long time ago with Teresa, but, I've said it before. I'll say it again. They treat the brown girls differently.
We'll have to wait and see what happens,
Yeah. Yeah.
So we start out back at Ashley's second Bloom Ball, and Ashley's still, going after Stacey about she wants to see the divorce papers to confirm that she's actually divorced. And I wrote down Ashley's quote here was, "We can be a lot of things, but we can't be liars." Since when? I mean,
When she says she stands on principles, I was like, what? Like, people were questioning your divorce. And listen, maybe that's why she's doing this, but people were questioning her divorce.
they were
Her and
questioning her
Jizzy,
marriage.
well, we all were questioning her marriage, but
I
her
mean,
and Jizzy were not homegirls back then.
right. No, they
Jizzy and
weren't.
Robin were the green-eyed monsters, and they were coming for Ashley every chance they got. So
Yep.
shame on her for doing this to somebody else.
No, I agree. I agree. And then back in the other room, Kiarna and Wendy are still, trying to hash things out. And
Yarna
Kiarna's
is
saying
still
that,
trying to have her moment, man.
yep, yep. She still wants accountability from Wendy. Something interesting was that Ashley was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and it was filmed prior to this announcement. But Andy asked her about some of the relationships, and she actually said that we're going to see something that happens later on in the season about between Kiarna and Wendy, that there's more to it than what we're seeing right now.
Well,
She
that's
also,
good because right now
yeah,
they're not showing
it's
us anything
nothing. It
except
doesn't make any
pettiness.
sense. Right.
Right. It doesn't make
Doesn't
any
make any
sense.
sense. And she also said that Wendy and Stacey got pretty close this season. So I think that that's going to be interesting because right now, I mean, all I'm seeing about Stacey is she's just one lie after another.
Yeah, listen, I don't like the way they're treating her,
No, I
but
don't either.
she's she's playing a character on this show. I'm not buying the ex-husband thing. We didn't buy the TJ thing. I do buy into her trying to hit Chris Samuels up though.
Yeah, we'll get there. We
I
will
do
get there.
I do believe that.
That's funny. It's funny. So while they're all sitting there, so then all the ladies come around and Wendy, Wendy decides that, she's going to try and rally the group. She's like, where do we go as a group? Stacey, you're a part of this group, and Angel and Tia, like, welcome to the group. Like, she's now all of a sudden, like, the leader of the group trying to
The welcome
rally.
committee, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was a little interesting. You know, she's like, "I want all of us to flow." And Ashley's like, "You know Stacey be lying." I'm like, "Oh, God." I mean, can we j I mean, we're at a party. Can we just get through, like, something? And Ashley says, "Kay, didn't she tell you that this was a charade that she was, that she needed to drop?" And Kieran like, "Yeah, at Lake Norman. She did say that." And now
She was
that's
FaceTiming TJ, right?
yeah, that's and they were roommates in Lake Norman. So, I don't know. I do find it interesting. I actually find it entertaining that anytime Stacey's asked a direct question, she doesn't ever answer it. It's always like,
She answers
"Okay,
with a question.
yeah," or she'll just make like a statement, like a bold statement. Like, "Okay, whenever we have an interaction between the 2 of us, it comes from a place of negativity." Well, that doesn't answer the question. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, she is the queen of the word salad. I mean, she's very articulate in her words, but she puts them in places that they don't belong. She just
Right.
throws these
It's just
statements out
deflection,
there.
like deflect, deflect, deflect.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I think that's from her being a host on QVC because
Probably.
when you're a host and even I find it actually sometimes when we're doing our podcast, you don't really want dead air. So sometimes the things that come out of your mouth are just like, "What was I saying?"
Right, exactly. And then you lose your train of thought. That happens all the time.
In her confessional, Stacey, she does say, she's like, "I don't understand why these group of women are suddenly turned against me. Like, I'm unjustly being beaten down." I do believe that it's unjust, but I don't think
I
it's
do too.
sudden. I don't think it's sudden. I think that this has been coming since she came on because I don't think they believed her
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
Right. No. Nobody was buying the TJ thing. And that where are you gonna go from there? Like
Well,
somebody
that's
comes on
it.
the show, with a fake boyfriend, and you're like, all right, well, if you're faking that, what else are you faking? So I understand what they're saying and why they feel the way they feel, but like you said, I can't see it in every fucking scene. Like
Right.
I'm over it.
Exactly. Right.
The show
Exactly.
just started. I'm over it already.
No, I agree with that. Karen's friend Cookie happens to be at this party, and Giselle's talking to her saying that, Karen's birthday's coming up, so they're making plans to meet up for Karen's birthday.
Did you think to yourself, why don't you go visit Karen in jail on her birthday?
No.
'Cause that's what I was thinking.
No, I wouldn't have thought that, to be honest with you, because Giselle has made it very clear that she's not on Karen's list in prison. Like, she doesn't speak to Karen. She
Karen
doesn't
didn't put her
visit
on
Ka
the list.
that she gets her information from Cookie, and that's how Karen wants it, and Ray.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, she's especially gonna be happy she did that, Karen, after she sees this season, where they're asking if she's in a geriatric wing, and she's talking about her hair, and she's being very messy, Jizzy. Very, very
Well, I
messy.
mean, she's actually keeping Karen's legacy alive this season, talking about her every so far it's only 2 episodes, but every episode.
Yeah, but she's also, like, shading her and being rude about it. But she
I
is
do think
talking
she cares.
about her.
I do think she genuinely does care about Karen. I do. I think that they do have a, I don't wanna say like a love-hate, but I do think that they have a
It's just
mutual
very
respect.
adversarial.
Yes,
They're
that's
very
what it is.
adversarial with each other, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tia tells Wendy that her grandfather is a prince in Nigeria, and, Wendy's like, "Well, she's from Nigeria also," so they get that connection, and they can bond a little bit about that, and then Stacey chimes in that she was excited when she found out from her mother that she had Nigerian heritage. What?
Stacey's becoming the new Brittany Bateman.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, she
She's
is.
like, "Guys, what about me? I'm Nigerian too."
Oh my gosh, and then we see Ashley's epic surprise, which
What was
was a
that?
stripper. It was a
A
stripper,
stripper, a stripper,
a
a
fancy
stripper.
stripper. Yeah.
Was she?
I mean,
Her
it was a
outfit, I
fancy outfit.
guess?
Yeah, it was a fancy
Yeah,
outfit.
yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of sparkle. But yeah, she was a stripper, right?
Yeah, your epic surprise was an epic letdown, Ashley.
Yeah.
Now, had it been Bolo, I would have been locked in.
I don't know. I think that that's not the place for that. Either
No,
way.
it wasn't the place for either one.
No, it wasn't. Then we see Wendy's at her house and Stacey's coming over. So Stacey comes in and they go out to the back deck, and neither one of them, this blew my mind, could figure out how to open the bottle of champagne.
That
So
blew my mind too.
they drank sparkling water.
I mean, they didn't even ask a producer to help them.
I mean,
I mean,
there was
if
a
you want
perfectly
champagne, there's a way to like, where there's a will, there's a way, ladies.
That's
Get
it.
it together.
That's what I was thinking. There was a
I
perfectly
mean,
good
I
bottle of champagne.
personally do know how to open a bottle of champagne, but if I didn't, I would have asked somebody.
Yeah, or YouTube it.
Right.
Even Stacey, she's like, "Oh, I know how to open it. Oh, but normally when I get to it, this part is off." Well, then take that part off.
That's all she had to do was take the wrapper off. And then it's really self-explanatory, people.
I know, I know. I don't know. I just was like, "Oh, gosh, these women." Stacey starts telling Wendy about how she went shopping with Ashley, and Ashley kept asking her for, proof of her divorce, but she also dropped the bomb that she met with a friend of TJ's and that she has receipts. And Wendy's like, "Well, does she have receipts? Are there receipts to be had?" And Stacey's reply is, "Well, I can't defend something if I don't even know what they're talking about, so I don't know." Okay. Then Stacey announces that she's back with her husband to Wendy, and Wendy's reaction is just, I mean,
Yeah, she's like, "I have so many questions, but we're trying to, like, move forward, and
yeah,
there's just so much."
she's speechless, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
She sits there for a moment and just kind of like is like looking at her like, "What are you doing?"
We're all at the point where we're, like, just waiting to see what comes out of Stacey's mouth next.
Oh, well, there's more. She said, "There's a lot of things being said about me that are lies." Giselle said that in New York at the reunion that I have Happy Stacey coming out. And I actually have a cannabis line coming out. Okay. So Wendy's like, "So Giselle wasn't lying." Well, no, she was, because that was back in January and I didn't start the talks with this until March. No, this is not really how it works. And it's like, does she think that these people are stupid?
Yes. Yes, she does. She's gonna be one of those housewives where she's just gonna say outlandish things or just have these fake ass storylines, and she's gonna be, like, insulted that people don't believe it. Like I said, I get what Giselle and Ashley are trying to do, but she's certainly not the first housewife to lie on Potomac.
No.
And I just think that they're just being harsh about it. I don't know. I don't know. She is starting to annoy me, though.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
We're two husbands.
Each other's husbands.
Join us as we share our gay 40-something perspectives on all the Real Housewives shows.
We bring a balanced take on all the Housewives drama without the shouting matches or hot takes you see all over social media.
Catch us the day after each episode drops. Watch on YouTube or Spotify or listen wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And find everything at husbandswatchinghousewives.com.
From Beverly Hills to Potomac.
We're here to stir the pot responsibly.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was weird, and I feel like it's going to come back up someplace or something when she announces that she has to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And Wendy's like, "What do you mean? What are you pregnant? Why was that scene kept in there? There's got to be a
I
reason."
don't know. And I have the same thing. So she says she has to go to the bathroom, but for some reason, Wendy finds this odd. Like, had she
Yeah.
gone to the bathroom like 15 times prior to that? Is that why she's like, "What are you pregnant?" Like, had she gone to the bathroom a couple times? We don't know. There's no context
Right.
to Wendy thinking it's weird that Stacey has to go to the bathroom, except that they're in the middle of filming a scene, and I'm sure they all normally wait until the scene's over to go to the bathroom.
Right. But again, like the fact that the producers kept it in, like, leads me to believe that is something
There's
about this is
something
going to come
more.
up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know though, right? I really don't know, because it was just odd. I'm like,
It
first
was
of all, this is very
very,
odd.
very odd. Very, very odd.
Okay. The next thing we do is we see Tia's house, and Giselle is going over there and she meets her children. She's got Amari and Nathaniel. They're her 10-year-old twins. She also has a daughter, Sienna, who's 16, and Alexis is 13. And her husband, Rob, is there also. Tia and Giselle met socially. They kind of bonded over being twin moms, which I can see that happening.
Did they say where they met, though?
They did not. They did not.
This is gonna sound really, really terrible, but I swear her accent sounds fake to me.
Really?
Like, I feel like she's a person playing a British person.
That is funny.
I
That's
don't know
funny.
why.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I actually like her accent, and sometimes accents bother me. I don't mind her accent. I don't know.
I mean, she's very easy to understand, obviously,
Yeah,
and
she
I
is.
like her very much, but when she talks, I'm like, "I don't know if I'm buying the whole accent thing." But obviously, she really does have an accent, and she's British,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just my crazy head.
Yeah, because she said that she was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and she was raised in England. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, she's
she,
legit.
yeah, she's definitely legit. She's been married for 17 years. So that's a long time.
Hell yeah.
Her husband grew up on the south side of Chicago, and she grew up with a cook, a steward, which I guess is a butler, and a driver. I'm like, talk about the prince and the pauper. Like, they grew up
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
like, right?
I liked how she was like, "I'm nobody's driver." And she's
Right.
always like,
Yeah.
he's like, "Nanny?" And she's like, "Yeah, but don't tell him."
Don't tell him. So she is a global real estate advisor. I don't know what that is.
Sometimes I think people just make these damn titles up.
Yeah, that's not the only one I think is made up. We'll get to the other one. Her
Yeah.
husband, though, he does sales and acquisition for an aeronautical company. I don't think that's fake. I think that's real. I think he's legit.
That's definitely legit. I'm sure hers is legit too. I just never heard of it. I mean, I'm
Yeah, no, I'm
sure it's
sure.
just
Yeah.
because she's from another country, like I'm sure she has contacts all over, and clearly she's probably running in circles with some very wealthy people. So she's probably helping people from all over the world find real estate all over the world.
She probably
That's
is. And
probably what she does.
yeah, she probably says advisor because I guess to sell real estate, you have to be licensed. Like in the United States, you have to be licensed in each state you're selling in.
Right.
So if you're
Right.
doing it globally, yeah, that's probably
Right.
exactly what she's doing.
It's like a consultant.
Yeah, yeah, she's hooking the people up with each other.
Right.
Ashley is going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I think that's when Brittany went to that. Didn't Brittany go to that White House Correspondents' Dinner as well? The same one that Ashley went to? Brittany from the Valley?
Yes, I thought you meant Salt Lake City. I'm like, "Oh my god."
No, 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 Brittany
Please don't promise
Cartwright
you was invited to that. But yes, Brittany Cartwright. Yes, I
she
believe
did,
her.
right?
Yeah.
So Jessica is there, I guess, to watch her kids. She's her half sister, and
So
Ashley
she
said,
must be, because first of all, she looks exactly like Ashley's mother. So she must be the product of Ashley's mother and the deadbeat boyfriend that Ashley don't like, right?
"Okay, that makes
She must be.
sense."
She looks like a teenager.
Yes,
She looks young.
she does. Well, she is a
And this
teenager
is
because
the
she's
guy
gonna be
that Michael was like, I don't mind helping your mother out, but I don't wanna help this guy out who can't go to work. And I don't blame Michael for that at all.
okay, that makes sense because I was trying
Mhm.
listen, I agree with you. She did look a lot like Ashley and Ashley's mother,
So much, yeah.
but I didn't think that they were married, that deadbeat, like,
I don't think they are.
boyfriend.
I think it's just a boyfriend. But
Hmm.
he was still in her life. By the way, did you see today Ashley's father passed away?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Ashley's father passed away because I thought it was her father that they both shared.
No. It's gotta be her
But
mother's kid
I
with
mean,
the
based on the way she looked, yes, and she didn't go to her father's funeral. Listen, I don't blame her. I mean,
I don't blame her either.
I don't blame her. I don't.
I think I know a couple of people who have had similar situations. And listen, that's a personal choice. And
Mhm.
nobody can tell you what's right for you. That's a personal choice.
No, I agree. I mean, she tried to go see him when he was alive, and he wouldn't talk to her.
Exactly.
We saw it. We saw it on
Right.
TV, And he had
Yeah.
many a years to reach out if, the camera was the problem, and he didn't, so
That's right. That's right.
So, Josh is gonna be her date. Now, she met Josh
Speed dating.
at the speed dating last season with Giselle, and things were going well, I thought, between her and Josh, but then she said when she signed on for Love Hotel, Josh was not happy about that, so I guess they broke
Blame them.
up. I don't blame him either, and then she went to do Love Hotel and came back, and then one night when she was a little, tipsy, she, texted him, and they've been kicking it ever since. So,
They
good for
do
her.
have a lot of chemistry.
They do. They're cute
I feel
together.
like they have a lot of chemistry, yeah.
But I also did just read, and I don't know if it's true, that she's dating an older gentleman who is very successful, I think, in real estate.
I think that she says it. She likes a daddy. Like
She does.
did she talk
She
about she
does.
didn't talk about that on Watch What Happens Live, though.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't. Well,
But
Andy didn't
I
ask her
mean,
either.
no, right. I feel like he would have if he had an inkling that that's what was going on. Feel like he would have asked her.
Yeah, I think he would have. I just do think he is a little, I mean, he shows up wearing sneakers.
Yeah,
They're
I didn't
going
get
to the
that.
White House. Yeah, I mean, they're going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I get if you're not gonna wear a tuxedo, but
Yeah.
sneakers?
Sneakers was a bold choice.
Yeah. What's next? Angel and her husband, they go out to eat, and we find a little bit more about them. They're talking about how it is moving back to the DMV, and they're renting now until they can find something that that they want. They're used to having a lot of land in Colorado.
Yeah, that house was quite beautiful that they showed. Their
It was
house in
amazing.
Colorado.
Yeah. So I thought this was interesting. They have been married for 6 years, and Bobby has been retired from the NFL for 3 years. So she was only an actual NFL wife for 3 years, and he hit her up on Facebook.
Yeah, you
I
DM'd her
I
in the
thought
Facebook.
I thought that was interesting because, and he says that he had to DM her a couple times and she didn't respond.
Yeah. Good for her,
Right?
though.
Yeah,
Because
good
this
for her
man,
is
I'm
right.
sure, had women throwing themselves at him all the time. So
That's what I'm
she's
thinking. That's
smart.
what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to see if they can find the land that they're looking for and the house that they're looking for.
Yeah, because one of them she said 5 acres minimum. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know the outskirts, but you're very close to Washington, D.C. It's an extremely expensive area. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just I don't know if you're gonna get that kind of land, but maybe on the outskirts. I don't know, but
Yeah.
not in
No, I don't know
Potomac.
either.
I mean, Potomac too is very,
Yeah.
very expensive. You're not gonna get that kind of land there.
I don't know actually how many of them actually live in Potomac, to be
I
honest
don't
with
think
you.
many of them do, because
Right.
didn't we just see Wendy doesn't,
No, she doesn't.
right? Giselle
Yeah.
does not.
Yeah.
Ashley doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them live in Potomac.
I don't think they do either. I don't think they do either.
That's really funny. And remember when they were so hard on Karen to faking the delivery of the pizza? This is what I mean about Giselle and Ashley for that matter. Like, they're fucking mean girls. And I feel like we've been saying this about a lot of housewives lately, but they really are.
Yeah. So Bobby asks her how she feels being the rookie. And she said, her quote is, "Even though I'm a rookie to this group of women, I'm not a rookie woman." I was like, good for you. Then we see Giselle goes over to Kiarna's place and she's like asking about Greg. Like, does Greg stay here? She's like, yeah. Now, but Greg's staying there. That doesn't mean he lives there, right? It just means he stays.
He's got a house. He's got
Right.
that house they were moving into.
I know. But she's got a chef there for the day. I thought that
Yeah,
was just a little pretentious.
I think that was to impress Jizzy. Kiarna wants
Or
in with
us.
Jizzy. Or us,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. Which it does. So well done.
Yeah. I mean, all he brought out was a salad, but okay.
That was the starter, though. I don't think we got past it, but that was the starter.
Yeah, he brought out a salad. And Giselle starts asking about the Angels party, the tranquility party, like what do we wear? What's the vibe? And are you good with Angel? And she's like, well, I think it's like a yoga vibe. And, she came to my event. She had an event at her spa. It was tox and caviar. So Botox and caviar. That sounds very interesting.
It sure does. We
Yeah.
would be interested in that if someone around here wants to do that.
Yes, I would be interested. I mean, I've never had caviar, I don't think. No, I haven't. So I would
I've
be
never had
interested.
Botox or caviar, and I would be
Me
interested in
neither.
both.
Me neither. Sign me up for both. So she's like, I was there downloading the girls as to what had happened with Wendy, and all of a sudden starts like sticking up for Kiarna, saying like, well,
Wendy.
were her kids for Wendy? That's what I meant, for Wendy. Like, were her kids okay? And even Tia's like, well, I'm sure if she flew to LA, her kids were okay. Why are you asking that? Because the first thing Wendy said to her when she saw her was, "Oh, hey, oh my God, did you do your own makeup?"
It is a weird thing to say to somebody, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes, it
I
is a
mean,
weird thing.
I'm not completely on Kiarna's side here though, but I, might be if I were them, I wouldn't be offended if somebody asked me if I did my own makeup because the answer is always yes.
Yes, yes.
But I understand for a housewife at an event for another housewife, that is shade. That is 100% shade.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny because Tia, I guess I don't know. She didn't get it. I mean, there's a lot that Tia doesn't get. She's like, "What does that mean?" Ashley's like, "Girl, you know what that means." And I'm like, I don't think she does. I don't
I don't
because
think she did either.
yeah, I don't think that in London they shade like that. I don't
No,
think.
that's what I mean. Like she doesn't act like that. This woman is polished. What did Giselle call her? She called her something, but whatever she called her is right because this woman is not like that. She's
Right.
not doing that.
Yeah, I like her. I like her.
I do too. I like both of them, Angel and Tia.
I do too. So she's like, she says to Angel, like, it's, if you're going to be that way, okay, but, and then in her confessional, she's like, that's not how I expect a friend of 20 years to treat me. Giselle's like, wait, I'm confused. So she was defending Wendy, and Kiana's like, yeah, I had to do a little chin checking. I
Never
mean,
heard of that in my life. Did you?
no, no, of course not. How would I know what chin checking is? I was glad Giselle explained it.
Never heard
So
of it.
yeah, she said, yeah, a little mama bear part. We had to do a little chin checking. And Giselle's like, I didn't think we chin checked our friends. Cause she explains to us that it's like a physical, what did she say? You get together in a physical way. So I looked it up. It's basically like you punch someone in the face. You punch them,
Really? That's
yeah.
it?
Yeah, basically that's what it means. It's a physical altercation.
Well, then that was a stupid thing for her to say because it's obviously not what happened.
Right, right. But it's physical. And Giselle said it's physical to get together in a physical way.
Mm,
So, yeah, I know.
that is not what happened.
No, no, that was not what happened. So then we get to the Truth and Tranquility party, and Nicole is there. Now, Nicole also has one of these funny titles. She is a sound bath practitioner.
Why are we having so many sound bath scenes on Housewives?
I don't know.
I mean, I can't believe how they're writing formulas now. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I didn't know there was such a thing as a sound bath practitioner.
I mean, for Housewives franchises, you need one because there's so many scenes with.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Maybe she's the Bravo House sound bath, whatever,
Maybe. Practitioner.
practitioner. There you go.
So Wendy's the first to arrive, and as soon as she walks in, Angel calls her Yoga Barbie because she's dressed all in pink.
She did look like Yoga Barbie.
She did. Angel offers her spiked tea, and then she adds lemon balm to it, and Wendy really was not receptive to it. She really did not want to be a part of the spiked tea. But when I heard what it was, it's hibiscus tea, lemon, ginger, mint, and vodka. I'm here for that. I would try
Sounds
that.
delicious.
Right?
I don't think Wendy's a big drinker, though.
Okay,
I
that
think
could be
that's
it.
what it is. I think that's what it is. But that sounds delicious.
I thought so too. And well, that would explain it though, if she's not a big drinker, because when comes and she offers the drink to Tia, she's like, "Oh, do you, Angel says to her, "Do you drink?" She's like, "Of course I drink. I have 4 children." I was like, "Yes, exactly."
Exactly, Tia. We knew we were gonna like you. Knew it.
Giselle in her confessional after she gets there, she says, Angel's really nice. We just met her, but I don't really like truth and tranquility. I really like lies and foolishness. I was, yep, that's about right, Giselle. That is what you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you like. I don't mind when Giselle does her shade in her confessionals. I don't mind when she does
No,
it there.
that stuff's funny.
Yeah.
That stuff's
Yeah.
funny.
Then she says to Angel, I heard from Kay there's no loud talking in your house. She's like, yep, I don't want any negativity. So, I don't like loud talking. Giselle's like, well, sometimes you got to go through the negative to get to the positive. And speaking of that, that was her segue. Where are we at with Kay and Wendy? I was like, oh, she's just going to jump right in.
Right in there.
Jump right in.
Right in
And
there.
Wendy said good, and Kay just kind of sat there and acknowledged it. But in her confessional, she said, to be honest, I just think Wendy's very passive aggressive and, we'll just coexist for now.
And Wendy says, I am at peace, and she is in pieces.
Yep. In her
That was
confessional, she said
interesting.
that. Yep. Giselle said to Angel, Kay, you and Kay, you guys are okay? And she's like, yeah, we're fine. And she's like, well, a little while later, Angel says, well, I'm very confused. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, why wouldn't we be fine? And Giselle said, well, is it time for food? And what about the mints? I was like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to address that situation? But then
I
the
don't know
mints.
if you noticed, but when Giselle said chin check, when she said it, Kay looked at her and said, cut the shit. Did you
I
notice
didn't see
that?
that. No,
Yeah.
I did not see
Or
that.
cut your shit. Something like that.
Okay. I
Kay
just
did
thought it
not
was.
want that brought up.
No, she didn't. And I don't blame her. I don't
She
blame her.
lied.
Yeah, she did lie. But you know what? Listen, I give her props because she fessed up to it.
She did. She
And
did.
I very rarely do you see a housewife that says, you know what? I did say it.
Very rarely do we see a
So,
housewife ever admit to any wrongdoing.
yeah, I give her props for that. I really do. I really do. But they had to bring up the thing about the mints again. And I feel like this is going to be all season. That's all we're going to talk about are these mints.
I think it's very rude what they're doing with this with Stacey. I really, really do.
I do too.
And it just makes them look like assholes. Like, do you think as a 50-something year old woman, Giselle, this makes you look funny that you're making fun of somebody's bad breath? That does not make you funny. That makes you like a second grader.
Yeah, I did not like that. I did not like that. And even when, Stacey arrives, Ashley says to her, your breath's a little hot. Maybe you should go get a mint. So she goes and gets the mint. And, in her confessional, she's like, all right, if my breath and mints is what we're doing, that's better than what else has been going on. So I'll take it, which is kind of sad.
She's not
I
wrong.
feel. No, she's not wrong. Angel in her confessional said about the chin checking. She said, Angel in her confessional, I don't believe that she would ever use that word because it's very aggressive. No one's going to chin check Angel Massey. If anyone's doing the chin checking, it's me. I'm like, oh boy, wait till she sees that.
Yep.
Wait till she sees
well,
that
and then
episode.
Kiarna says is, and then she admits it.
Yeah.
And we finally get to the sound bath.
Yep, we get outside to the sound bath. And now, after they're done doing the sound bath, Angel lets us know that she is a certified mindful outdoor guide. Another title. Certified mindful outdoor guide.
My life is so boring. I'm just a billing coordinator at a law firm. I am going to give myself a fancy new title. I'm going to work on that.
We should work on that.
I am, for sure.
So they're going to do this fire circle, and Kay goes first. And what they do in the fire circle, I guess, is speak of something positive. So Kay goes first, and she thanks, Angel for being here to remind me what friendship looks like. Okay, that's nice.
Good save. Good save on the chin check, Kay.
Yep. Then Tia goes next and thanks Giselle for inviting her to this amazing, loving group. Okay. And then the next one we see is Stacey, and she's like, I'm in a place in my life where I want a fresh start. So I want to ask you all to stand up and do a cleansing breath. I'm like, oh God, asking them all to stand up. Ashley says, is it a lion's breath? Giselle says,
I
did
think
you put
is
the mint
that
in?
Yeah, I think the lion's breath, is that something like you do during these things? Like, because they all seem to know what she was talking about. Or is it like a yoga thing?
It might be. It might be. It might be. But she does get them all to stand up and do this big cleansing breath, right? And that was all we saw. Then they go inside and Stacey calls Ashley over and then all the ladies have to gather around because they all want to know what's the conversation. And she's like, you were really all over me about showing you proof that I was divorced. So she pulls out her phone and she shows her, this is what I received that said that, it was final. Giselle's looking at it and she's like, yeah, so she just got an app and made this. She's like, I have my own divorce. Everyone who's been divorced knows there's no stamp and it's not notarized. That's not a divorce decree. I'm like,
well, what it would say is on the top of it, it would say filed and a date. It would have a file date on it somewhere. Anything filed with the court, unless this was the copy of it prior to being filed.
Well, she said it was the copy that it was what she received to say that it was final.
Well, then it would have had a filed stamp on it. But whatever. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. And that's kind of what Giselle says. She's like, I don't even care. Like, who cares?
Yeah, like who cares?
Yeah. And Ashley's like, well, that was just one of many things, but okay. She's going to accept that, which I guess
Right.
means she's not going to ask for any more proof that she's divorced. Then we see Giselle goes to the Tally Ho restaurant, and that's, like I said, Karen's favorite restaurant. Kiarna's meeting there. Ashley and Cookie is the last to arrive. Cookie and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the actual day of Karen's birthday, and Giselle explains to Kiarna and Ashley that Cookie was there when she was sentenced and when she went into prison, and she's been in contact with her. And they start asking questions like, how's Giselle, how's Karen doing? And she's like, yeah, she's doing good. They call her Miss Karen. Ashley said, well, what does she do? Like, she reads a lot of books, and what else is she doing?
Exercising.
Reading.
She's exercising.
Exercising. Yep, exercising and reading books. Giselle said she was, like, fearful that someone would try and make a mark for themselves and, like, attack Karen, that it was gonna be which
Well,
I don't
listen,
know.
I don't know. I mean, that's probably a legitimate concern.
I think it is. I think it is
Yeah.
a legitimate concern.
Because she's not where like a place like Teresa went, right? Like a white collar kind of place. She's not in that kind of a place.
She was
Which
in a
that
county
comes
jail.
down which that comes down to what your offense was, so,
Right. Right.
yeah.
And while they're sitting there, Cookie gets a text message, and she's like, "Oh, guess who that is?" And it's Chris Samuels. And then that's when Ashley brings up that Stacey's trying to get with Chris Samuels. I think this is so interesting that Chris Samuels happens to text Cookie while she's sitting there. And why is
Very
Chris Samuels
coincidental.
even friends with Cookie? And what's the text about?
Right. So many questions.
Yes, so many
So many
questions.
questions. So Cookie says, she's like, "What?" When Ashley says that Stacey's trying to, get with Chris, and Cookie says he can't have that funky odor in his house. Did you hear her say
Yeah.
that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
That was
did.
kinda rude.
Yes, yes. So Ashley says, maybe that was before she got back with her husband. She did say that. I don't know. She said her friend Tatiana was at her full bloom, her second bloom ball, but she arrived really late, and she was, helping her take her dress down the stairs. And her friend Tatiana is the one who told her that Stacey reached out to her to introduce her to Chris Samuels. And Ashley's like, well, did you do it? She's like, yeah, I introduced them. But this was several months prior. What I'm wondering is, like, Ashley says that 3 months prior was that's right, 3 months prior was the reunion, and now, like, they started filming 3 months after the reunion. So in the 3 months' time, she got back with her husband and reached out to Chris Samuels? Like, what's the timeline?
Yeah, we definitely need a timeline here, and I'm sure it'll come up at the reunion, if not prior to that. I mean, Monique's coming back, so we're
3 weeks
obviously not
later.
done talking about this, but we definitely need a timeline. Like, because when was New York? When was New York in relation to Christmas? Because didn't they go on Christmas vacation with the daughter and the ex-husband, and that's where they kind of rekindled their romance?
Right? That's what she
So
said.
that's what we need to match up with.
Yeah. We need a timeline.
We'll have to look at when the reunion was filmed.
Yes. Yes, this is interesting to me. I don't like when they leave us hanging. I don't like to be left hanging. I feel like we're being left
No.
hanging.
No, but I feel like we could figure this out.
Yeah, I think we can.
We
I
just
think
need
we
to
can.
know when they recorded the reunion for season what are we on, season 10?
10, so season 9.
The season 9 reunion.
I will say I'm excited to see Monique back. I would like to see what that's all about.
I'm so excited to see Monique, and I'm a little upset that they got divorced because I really did like them as a couple, but I could imagine and by the way, Stacey, good luck with his mother because I would imagine
Yeah.
his mother had something to do with them getting divorced because she never liked Monique, and it didn't seem like she was gonna like anybody. She looks like she just liked the fact that her son had a lot of money and could take very good care of her and didn't want him taking care of anybody else, except his children, of course.
Yeah, that definitely was made evident in every scene she was in.
Yeah.
And she was mean to Monique. She was outright mean
She
to her.
was outright mean to her.
Yeah, she was. She was.
Monique is from Pleasantville, New Jersey, which is down by AC.
I didn't know she was from Pleasantville.
Yeah, so Eric showed me when we were dating, there's Rodney Jerkins. Rodney Jenkins? Rodney Jerkins, I think his name is. But he's a music producer, and he had a studio in, I'm almost positive it's Pleasantville. Wherever his studio was is where Monique is from. It wasn't a big studio, but you would drive past there and there would be Bentleys, Maybach, like crazy cars. And Beyonce, like he produced Destiny's Child, Tony Braxton. You'll hear it. You'll hear it in the beginning of some of their songs. It says Dark Child.
That's the name of
That
his
was his.
production company?
Yeah. And wherever I'm almost positive it's Pleasantville, New Jersey. That's where Monique is from, where his studio is.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep. Little New Jersey trivia for you listeners at home.
All right. So, anything else on Potomac?
Not on Potomac, but
Okay.
I wanted to bring something up and ask our listeners a question. So,
Great.
have you seen that Teresa is saying she has reached out to her brother and that they're supposed to be meeting up?
I did see that that's what was said.
Right. We've seen nothing from Joe about it.
Right.
So, my question is, what do the listeners think about that? Do you think Joe Gorga should go meet with his sister? Because I have mixed feelings about it. And you know I'm rewatching Jersey, and I am on season 7, and Joe Giudice just left to go away. And how sad. And I have to say, like, they were so loving with each other leading up to him going away. And he and Joe and Melissa are in such a good place. It's very enjoyable to watch. But then we know what happens. Louis comes into the picture. So this is my feeling, because they were good until Louis came along. From this point on, from season 6 on, they were good until Louis came along. My feeling is this: if she leaves Louis and Louis out of the picture, I think things could be okay. But as long as that creepy MFer is in her life, there's no way she's going to be okay with her brother.
Okay.
That's my feeling, listeners, but I want to hear your feelings.
So, wait. So, you do think Joe should meet up?
Only if Louis is out of the picture 100%. And he's not. He's
Well,
not.
okay.
So as of right now, no, I do not.
Okay. I think Joe should meet up. I think family's family. I think family's family. That's just me.
The problem is that I agree with you, family's family, but the problem is that Louis is a dangerous person. He's a dangerous person. And you can't have a normal relationship with somebody who's in a relationship with a dangerous person. He's proven himself to be dangerous to Joe, to Melissa. I wouldn't let that motherfucker near my kids. Not in a million years would I let him near my kids at their ages, 21 and 18. Never mind little ones. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
All
And
right,
that's my question.
We'll have to see what our listeners think. Let us know in the comments.
You know I'm
or
going to bring it
DM
back to
us.
Jersey every chance I can.
That's what we do here. Well, that's what you
That's
do
right.
here.
That's right. Like it's my job.
It is your job.
I know.
One day you will get
All
paid
right.
for it.
One day. One day.
Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.